Welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with...
Elizabeth Elliott.
And...
Tyler Hymanson.
And we have a special guest with us. Eliz, who is it?
Yes, please welcome creator of the comic book Scared by the Bell, Dylan Campbell.
Hello, everybody.
Woo!
Glad to be here.
Welcome, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, tell us a little bit about Scared by the Bell.
Oh, so I make a comic book called Scared by the Bell, and it's about a kid named Peter. He's starting a brand new middle school, and except this middle school is full of monsters, because we all know middle school is full of monsters. Mm-hmm. So except this middle school's got all the scary things: vampires, werewolves, cyborgs, girls, and so he just kind of has to see if he could survive the day at a new school.
Thankfully, not a military school.
We moved on from there. Thank God.
That's the prequel.
Yeah.
That's the prequel.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk a little bit more as we go on about how Glenn would fare if he were there. But but anyway.
Or Glenda.
Oh, God.
Glenda.
Oh, my. Well, if you know what's coming up because of what we just were talking about, we are talking this week about Seed of Chucky. This is now the fifth one that we've gone through. Number 5.
Fifth Chucky. Child's Play.
And Don Mancini's taking the reins.
Yeah. He's like, give me the reins. I want to take
Give me those funny pants and a bullhorn. I'm directing.
Oh, man.
Does.
So, yeah, this one is out 2004, 20 years later. Let's tune in and see what's going on with the Chuck.
Claudia, told you not to leave your toys lying about. Good God, you are hideous.
The last time, he took a bride. But this time, in order to become the parents of a human baby, they'll need just the right woman. Jennifer Tilly.
Production is underway on the new horror flick, Chucky Goes Psycho.
You know, I should have played Aaron Brockovich. I could have done it without the Wonder Bra.
Oh, Jennifer Tilly is back in more ways than you may
Oh,
think.
my God.
This meta movie.
It's so meta.
Extreme meta-ness going on. Peak meta in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, okay, we've been talking about the intros every time for this one. This one I did not like at all. Gross.
No, it's pretty
The
bad.
opening credits.
Yeah.
The Look Who's Talking meets Fight Club opening credits.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, as soon as like the white stuff was on screen, I was like, "Oh, I really hope that's not the literal seed of Chucky." And then it
was.
immediately showed that it was.
You're like,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
just in case you couldn't remember how babies were made.
Yeah, you're like, I just don't need this. I don't need to see this.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Before we get going, I was going to ask, so have you seen any of the other movies?
No, see, this was my first foray into the Chucky verse, so I feel like my views will be a little skewed. I'll be like that guy that's like, I don't know, Seed of Chucky's my favorite one. Like, now it'll always be seared into my brain. It's imprinted on me. They're like, what? You like that? I'll be like, yeah.
It was pretty great. I don't know.
I'll never be asked on a podcast again.
No, that's like, I'm always like, my favorite Kevin Smith movie is Clerks 2. And people are like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like,
Is it really? I never
It's the
saw
first one
Clerks
I
2.
saw. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's like, what's the coolest thing you ever saw? I don't know, whatever I saw when I was 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So this one, we get past that horrible intro with the seed and everything.
With CG sperm.
Seeds, yeah, we're dancing around what it really was.
Yeah.
Well, and you saw the
It was
baby,
sperm.
right?
Yeah,
You
the
see
baby.
It was
like,
what?
Yeah.
They do like the 3D ultrasound that you can get now at your local mall.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Can I get a GIF of that ultrasound? You probably can.
Yeah, you probably can. Probably can.
And we get right into some sweet POV.
Oh, yeah.
What we think is possibly Chucky again on a new killing spree, but we quickly find out is someone else.
It's Pippin.
It's Pippin. Billy Boyd, the voice, the angelic voice of Billy Boyd.
Yeah, it was what's his name? It was from The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I mean from
Billy
Pippin.
Boyd.
Yeah,
Which
Pippin.
Pippin.
He's
Yeah.
Pippin.
Pippin, yeah.
I just had to look it up because I was like, it was Mary or
Was
Pippin.
it Mary or Pippin?
It was one of them.
It's Pippin? Okay.
No one ever remembers.
I was like,
Of course.
to do the right thing here, as I asked my girlfriend today, it's whichever one wasn't in Drive Shaft. Which one was that?
Lost Talk.
Ding, ding, ding. Lost reference. We can't get through an episode without referencing Lost.
At least this one mildly made sense.
I appreciate that, Justin. Thank you.
I really like this opening scene. Actually, after the intro sequence, it was really fun. Like this, we mentioned one of the POV scenes. I think back in number 2, Child's Play 2.
Yeah,
possibly
the
in the
CEO
opening.
office. Yeah,
And this is like we get even more of it, and it's like. You know, from a doll's point of view, like stalking up the stairs, walking around, being creepy. I thought that was a really well shot.
well, I was
like,
kind of like, why do they have British accents? It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
weird, but I guess because they ended up somehow in the UK.
yeah,
Yeah.
that whole thing was weird. Like casting Billy Boyd for the character.
Yeah, I don't know why they wanted to make him British.
Yeah, you think it's like we need to have another funny voice for our doll. Let's
Yeah,
have him have an
maybe.
English accent for something.
That's a good
No
point because
idea.
it's like I wonder if they cast him and then they were like, "Oh, we'll have to rewrite the opening. Let's make him. He's found in London
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
because he's kind of English." you
they
know,
don't
like-
even really ever say why. The guy just says, "Oh, I found him in the United States, and now I'm here."
Yeah,
Right.
well, because he's at the International
National
Ventriloquist Competition, which I meant to look up and see if that was a real thing.
I didn't look it up.
Oh my
but
God.
they make it look like it's like Lollapalooza or something like that. Like everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, ventriloquist!"
What is face and shit face?
Yeah.
Get out
Shit
here.
face. Psycho
Sykes,
and-
Sykes.
Oh yeah, Sykes. Yeah,
Sykes and shitface.
Sykes and shit. I think that's right.
God. Well, should we talk about his shit face?
Sure, yes.
He
Let's talk
looks-
about his shit face.
So creepy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the idea was behind this design.
He looks like an anemic eel made a wish to become a real boy.
Yes,
like he has the bigger eyes like Tiffany.
Yeah.
And he has red hair like Chucky, but that's sort of where the similarities end.
Apparently, it was an argument between Don Mancini and the producer, and Don Mancini wanted it to look different, completely different, and the producer thought that it should look like Chucky. And so what we have is an ugly compromise.
It's creepy. And he's
Well,
got
so
like,
they're trying to say he's a human child? 'Cause the credits say that, like, or the trailer that you just played said.
oh, I think this is.
referencing like the end.
Yeah, I
okay.
think it's the
Yeah,
later part.
he's a doll.
I don't know why he's so like skinny and so much like more pulled out than they are.
And he's got
you
these
know?
like sharp like snake teeth or something.
Yeah.
It's really gross and creepy. He's a creepy doll.
He's
a
real
creepy doll.
creepy. But that
He's
being
so
said,
nice,
once
though.
you like,
Chris
yeah,
Glenn is.
once you
Yeah.
accept how he looks, the puppetry again is amazing.
Yeah.
So
And he comes with new features like peeing his pants.
pissing
All
his
the
pants.
time. All the
his
time.
pants, yeah.
All
He's
the time.
constantly pissing his pants.
Yeah.
I loved the he's kind of having this like introspective moment because when he's not on stage he's back in this like cage or whatever, and he's thinking about like, I wonder if I have parents, and he's like, at least I know I'm from Japan, and he like looks at his wrist and it says made in Japan, and every time we see that the music is like ching ding ding, ding,
Also,
I was like, oh Jesus.
I call such bullshit on this because he was made like if him and Chucky are made in the same place,
Yeah.
it's a factory in Chicago.
Yep. They literally just put that in for that stupid musical Sting joke.
Yeah, and for him to
be
do
able
like
to
kung
martial
fu
arts.
at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And then the
talk some
language,
Japanese,
yeah.
Yeah, well, and they, because Dylan, in the previous movies, we saw Chucky many times built in these Chicago factories, so it's pretty ridiculous.
Like the main, we see the CEO of the company. We know way too much about how the company
Yeah.
that makes the Chucky dolls works.
Yeah, but now they're all about like, I'm from New Jersey and all this stuff.
They
so.
should have
Right.
had Tiffany. If they really wanted it that badly, then Tiffany should have been made in Japan, because
Well,
we don't
wait.
really know where she was made.
Were they made in Japan but assembled in the U.S.?
No.
No, they had a
Yeah.
skin machine at this.
Yeah.
I like where you're going with it, but no, they showed us.
Yeah, I don't even think. Yeah, no. Yeah, but that's because he was still made in the U.S., I think, in the third one.
Yeah.
And that's like the same body. he
Yeah, the
had
one
since
directed
then.
by Lots' own Jack Bender.
Yeah.
Is it the same? Is it the same doll? The same Chucky doll? Does he inhabit different dolls?
He's had
The
the
first
same,
two are the same doll. The second one's a new doll.
Second one's a new
I mean,
doll.
sorry, the third one's a new doll.
But the same spirit. It's been the same
Oh, yeah, the
spirit
third
as
one.
a
so
serial
the
killer.
third doll was made in Japan, assembled. It's like an app. It's like an iPhone.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, right. So maybe,
Maybe.
like that. Maybe that factory was destroyed.
That's
Yeah.
True. We didn't see the
It's a
factory.
post like recession.
Because he's been the
Yeah.
same doll since number 3.
Yeah.
I guess Don Mancini maybe thought that through.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's stupid. and
Enraged.
racist. He can't even say Okasan and Otosan correctly. He's like, Okasan, Otosan. And I'm like,
I had a feeling you were probably going to be upset by that. I was like, this is
It's
like, wow.
dumb. I mean, you know what, though? Of all the horrible Asian things we've seen, like, I was kind of like annoyed, but just mildly annoyed because it just could have been so much worse and usually is.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, at least they used 2 real Japanese words. And, you know.
Yep.
He wasn't like, hurrah, please, you know? Like,
Oh, that would have been awful.
Although, it did make me wonder: did this movie come out before or after Team America? Because there's a fight
he
sequence
looks
in it.
kind of Team America.
He looks kind of Team America, and I bet puppeteers. They're shared
I think
puppeteers.
2004 is after Team America.
Team America was 2004 as well.
Oh,
Oh.
goodness.
Dang, same year.
that was the puppet singularity happened in 2004.
Yeah.
We can
Team
plot it
America
back.
came out just like a month earlier.
Oh, wow.
About a month earlier.
Oh wow!
Okay.
It's like when they have 2 volcano movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm unclear on how he is made from. Like, am I supposed to know?
In
like,
the last movie,
Did
the
they
2
have
dolls
sex?
had sex.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like.
And the
Unfortunately.
movie ends with the Tiffany doll being killed, and then a baby crawling out of her and killing
Fetus
a police
crawls out,
officer.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's literally the last shot of the movie.
Yeah, but Tiffany and Chucky are supposedly dead.
Got it.
Yeah. So in this movie, we learn that apparently some Hollywood people were in the cemetery, found the bodies of these dolls, took them to Hollywood, like cleaned them up and made them
Right.
look brand new, I guess. And now they're using them in this.
So actually, I don't know if they. I think that the dolls might be pure recreations.
no, I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
it's
they
the same ones.
said that these are the dolls that they found in the cemetery at the crime scene, and now they're
incredibly
making.
I mean, it
Stupid.
could be new ones. The whole point is that they come alive once he does the Dambala, like, stupid
I'm
chant
pretty
again.
sure it was like this supposed to be the
Which
same
I guess voodoo is hereditary because he just knows the words
No,
Oh, he had it on the,
He had
the
the-
amulet.
on the amulet.
He had the MacGuffin amulet
Yeah.
from last episode.
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere.
Okay, so wait, let's go back, though, and talk about Glenn's personality. Because, Dylan, you mentioned he's very nice.
He is. I was like, oh.
He's so cute.
He's like, he doesn't want to, like, the guy is abusing him, the ventriloquist guy, and he's just like, oh no, I can't hurt to fly.
He's a
or
regular
whatever.
Pippin about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't he like give him a rat, like eat this or kill this? Or
Yeah, I don't
something?
know what he wanted him to do with the rat, but he was
Yeah.
just like, you gotta be meaner, and then he pet the rat, and the guy was mad.
Yeah.
I don't know, he didn't specifically give him any instructions, though.
Oh, yeah. He, like, trapped the rat.
I was just like,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm not going to do it.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
But he doesn't even really kill him, he just escapes and runs away.
Yeah.
He hops on a truck.
Yeah, and we don't know how he gets to America other than traveling by map, like the Muppets, but...
Or Indiana Jones.
yeah.
And I,
Right.
during that scene, I enjoyed imagining Psyche going back and having to reckon with now he has no. He was like on the top of the world.
Of the world.
where there was this doll that talks on its own.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now he's got to answer to that, and he's got nothing.
He's got nothing.
He's going to lose the International Ventriloquist
They're like, here,
Championship.
just use this doll. He's like, no. It's
Yeah.
not
What do you guys? This doesn't feel right.
You can use mine. It's okay. Like, no, it's not the same.
It's like the Big Eyes thing. It's like, just draw something right now.
What do you guys think the prize is for the winner at the International Ventriloquist Championship?
A meet and greet with Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, you could put up at one of Guy Fieri's restaurants.
Yes. And yeah,
Get
a
to
meet and
meet-
greet with Jeff Dunham, and he'll sign your doll.
Oh God, hey, some people like that guy. Not.
Guy Fieri?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Both guys.
I mean, that guy.
That's the guy from Triple D. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this movie, it's like all about like the movie within a movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Is about all about Chucky and Tiffany, I guess.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name. There was a name of the movie that they were calling
Chucky
it.
Goes Psycho.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And a fun fact about this is there's the scene that we see is that them murdering a Santa Claus, and the guy who plays Santa Claus, who's from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrel, and I'm forgetting the actor's name, but also from Trainspotting. This is the movie that he wished he could take back. If there's one movie that he could not have done in his career, it's this movie.
Oh, really?
He said that.
He said that. He said that, and he was like, I'm on a freezing cold stage dressed as Santa in Romania, being stabbed by a doll, and wondering where the fuck did I go wrong?
Why the hell was this filmed in Romania?
Cheap.
I guess. So weird. I guess that's why they brought actors from Great Britain instead of America.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jason Fleming, the actor.
Yeah, and then the first person that gets killed, like the special effects robot guy who's trying to fix the puppets, like Tony Gardner, he is just the actual special effects guy, and they're like, we'll just kill you. That's
awesome.
He's the one who gets grabbed in the crotch, right?
No, he gets his head like
his
wire.
wire.
Oh, yeah, the piano wire.
Yeah. I mean, what an honor.
What an honor.
Not only do you get to control the actual puppets, you also get to get killed in the movie.
Sure.
That's
And
pretty
he
cool.
got like a flying head close up.
Yeah, they had to make a fake head of him.
Yeah, that's true.
He probably had to make his own fake
He
head.
probably has it.
Yeah.
Has people over. Oh, that's my head.
That's my fake head.
That would be creepy.
So Glenn brings Chucky and Tiffany back to life with the amulet and the... You know what, though? He only had to say that chant one time, and it worked.
Kid's a natural.
We have seen Chucky yell that chant 6 or 7 times with lightning and thunder, and still it didn't work. This guy literally is like, "Ade do a dumbala," and it works. Like,
Isn't it sometimes like, the offspring is stronger with more power?
he didn't even say, "Give me the power, I beg of you."
That's true.
I'm so
yeah.
disappointed.
I know, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, Chucky was just wasting all that time with all that lightning and thunder. You don't need it.
So yeah. Well, but they're back. So, and then they're like, "Who the hell is this?"
I love this scene where Chucky is like making fun of Glenn so hard.
Yeah.
The whole time, just like, oh God, I wonder what his parents look like. And he's like laughing at him. And then they do the big reveal of like, but look, I know I'm from Japan. And then Chucky sees it. And the look on Chucky's face when he like realizes that it's his son is priceless.
That's pretty good. He faints.
His eyes and mouth are like as wide open as they can be on the puppet. And he's just like, what? Tiffany loves it.
Yes, she's really
Tiffany's
happy.
a fan.
I did like when Glenn says, "Is mommy ill?" and Chucky says, "Well, the courts thought so." Like, I don't know, I just really like that.
That was
joke.
really funny.
Yeah.
This one actually has some really amazing comedic beats.
Yeah.
Like things that actually made me laugh. So, do we see John Waters at this point or no?
Well, okay, we should
He's
say
later.
Jennifer Tilly is playing
Jennifer Tilly.
Tiffany.
Yes.
Well, no, okay, so Jennifer Tilly is playing Jennifer Tilly playing Tiffany. Yeah.
In Chucky Goes Psycho.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But then also voicing the real Tiffany doll.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So then she finds
They doubled down on the Jennifer Tilly
yeah.
in this one, which think
Why
is,
not? Because
yeah.
she's incredible.
Yeah.
Smart idea.
Although I felt bad when she was like Oscar nominated in this one. I was like, she was?
I know, I had to look it up
Yeah.
too. Although when she was saying I would have been a better Aaron Brockovich, I was kind of like, maybe she would
Would
have.
have, yeah.
Like, she really was like Aaron Brockovich.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so she finds the body and ends up taking all the dolls home.
no, they go in her chauffeur's
Right.
car. Yeah. She doesn't take them home on purpose.
Right.
Yeah, they sneak in. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, when did she do
Yeah,
that?
I was like, why was she
Was, like,
taking
was
them
that
home?
in the third one or the fourth one? Like,
She ends up taking them. I didn't say she gathered them up.
Well,
She
she
gets in the
discovers
front
the
seat.
body,
Yeah.
so the paparazzi
Yeah.
are after her.
And
that's when we see
John Waters, yeah.
So John Waters is semi-cameoing as a paparazzi.
Yeah, his
You
name
get
is
to hear him yell.
Peterson.
Pete Peterson.
Yeah. You get to hear him yell in the crowd of paparazzi, like, "How old are you? Give me the exact date and year."
Which was very funny.
I thought that was hilarious.
And Jennifer Tilly playing herself is just like, It's funny because she is so down to just be like
Yeah.
self-deprecating and have a good sense of humor about these things. Like she makes fun of her own weight, she makes fun of her own boobs, she makes fun of her career, like all of it.
Voice.
Like,
Yeah.
her own voice. Like she's just like, you know what? It's funny, so I'll just make fun of all these things about myself.
Yeah.
Like it almost makes me wonder if it's like the like high school kid, like, well, if I take control of the situation and make
Right.
fun of it myself, then they can't hurt me with it, you know, like that. But who knows? It was great though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really funny and gets like a chance again to shine in this movie. Like, you know, clearly people came out of Bride of Chucky like raving about Tiffany being the, you know, the greatest thing that's happened to the movies since they started. And so yeah, it makes total sense that she gets way bigger role in this, like a dual role, which is awesome.
It was very self-referential, even with Redman. He's like, "Oh, I loved you in that one," and I
Yeah.
was like, "I think the only Jennifer Tilly movie I've seen is Bound." And then he goes, "Bound." She goes, "Yeah, everybody likes that one." I was like, "Oh yeah,
That's so funny. You're like totally related with that moment in real time.
So I guess originally, like Redman is a director in, like he's making his directorial debut in this movie and is casting Jennifer Tilly as the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
In his,
So he was
she's
so ahead of
campaigning
his
for that
time.
role.
This was before the religious movies even started coming
Yeah.
up, and Redman wanted to make his own version of the Bible.
Bible.
apparently that role was originally written for Quentin Tarantino.
no."
Like Don Mancini really thought that was going to work out, and I was like, I can see that. And then I guess after that, it was going to be Joey Pants.
Tarantino didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Should just
yeah.
have John
it makes-
Waters.
He didn't want to be. He didn't want to be tied to a bed while somebody was being inseminated with a turkey baster. I think that's probably a good call.
Fair enough.
Which
I like it's just like, Mr. Man? It's like, oh, can I call you Red? He's like, and then she just goes on and keeps talking. He never corrects her. So yeah, she's basically hatched this plan to sleep with Redman in order to be cast as the Virgin Mary.
And meanwhile, while that's happening, Tiffany and Chucky are battling over the gender and morality of Glenn.
Well, before that, though, Tiffany hatches the plan like, "Oh, that's the body.
Right, yeah.
I want Tiffany. That's the body I want. And you can have the driver." They hatch all this in the back of the limo when they're drinking the champagne.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the new plan. They're gonna bounce their souls into Jennifer Tilly and the limo driver,
Or Redman.
Or Redman.
They don't really care.
Yeah.
One of the guys. You know, as we've seen, Chucky is all like about that life.
Yeah, and then they're going to somehow get Jennifer Tilly pregnant and put Glenn into the baby.
Yeah, because they want a human child for some reason.
Well, and Tiffany doesn't want to have to be pregnant again, so she wants Jennifer Tilly to go through the pregnancy, and then she wants to go into her.
But it's fine because it's a voodoo pregnancy.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it happens very, very quickly.
Which is funny because I was watching, I was like, "She's already sick? God, did we have a time jump?" And then, like, in the next thing,
Yeah.
she's like, "No, it's a voodoo pregnancy." So I was in sync with this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
It was consistent. That's what happened with the original pregnancy, too.
yeah, I was gonna say it was good that they explained that to us because we had that question last week.
Yeah.
where it was like, "What? How did she get?"
Well, we thought it
birthed
might have
so
been
fast?
doll mechanics, but it turns out it's voodoo mechanics.
Voodoo mechanics.
So, yeah.
It was gonna be one of the two.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let's talk about Glenn or Glenda.
boy.
Tyler, you already brought up their
Yes.
gender confusion.
Yes. Basically, well, it starts with shame because they pull down his pants or her pants and their pants.
Their pants.
Yep. And I was like, oh no. And it's just plastic. And then so they start assigning gender roles to this boy. And because at the time it's Glenn, what we find out is that they at the end of the movie is that it is twin souls of Glenda. There's two people in there.
I just don't. Okay, the thing with it has no genitals, but then
Yeah.
It's like
still
a Ken bu-
still
it's like a
peeing
Ken
though.
bump.
Still
Yeah.
peeing.
Yeah.
So that's why I was confused. 'cause
And like he's super dehydrated too because the pee is super yellow.
yeah.
Yeah, he really needs to hydrate.
And as we know, Chucky and Tiffany have regular anatomy, so I just assumed that they were going to pull down and see, that there was actually something.
Yeah,
there.
I mean they had sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like shocked that it was like peeing, but then there was nothing there. I don't know.
It's a catch-22.
There's so many, like, I know this was in 2004, so it's not like today where everybody's more cognizant of these things, but like, yeah, I'm blanking on even what the term for this is when you're born with
is it
gender dysmorphia?
No.
Dysphoria, I think is what it said.
Yeah, but anyways, so there's all this thing about like, what do you do anything surgically, like intersex? Sorry, that's what it is. It's intersex. Yeah, like, do you do anything surgically right when they're born, or do you wait until they choose to identify? It's just like. And then Chucky is clearly like, you're not surprised that Chucky is like super transphobic and that Tiffany is more, accepting of it. But then they're just like wanting him to be a boy or a girl. But originally he clearly like identified as male from the beginning. Had been previously, but then they
start bickering over it.
They only come up with the fact that he might be a girl because they look at the genitals, which is like,
well, and like
weird.
Tiffany, I mean, well, they start arguing about it immediately because Tiffany just says that she
wanted a girl. Yeah.
Right. She wants a girl.
She's like, talking about Glenda as if it's a girl right from the get-go. And then Chucky's like, don't you mean our boy? And so they
and the Glenn and Glenda names are, I think, I mean, IMDb said this and it makes sense to me, but it's the Ed Wood movie where he plays a woman and himself as Glenn or Glenda.
Oh, really?
And so I think that it's kind of trying to do that, but it's not. It's like, hey, let's have this thing, and it's kind of a cheap joke, like the Made in Japan thing, and like we're playing it for laughs, but like we're also playing it like, hey, we're progressive, we're talking about gender identity, and but it's also for laughs, and it's all just kind of like
weird because it's not so brazen that you're like, oh, that's so horrible, but like because some of it is like okay about it, but then it's also like not.
It's like it's a lot like your well-intentioned misinformed uncle trying to talk about it and be like, like your heart's in the right place, I think, but what you're saying is offensive.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. My sort of overall take on this movie is that there was enough there with Chucky trying to like learn how to be a father to any child that doesn't have the violent tendencies, that they didn't need this gender thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Because, I think it gets into some situations where it feels like, it's in this dark comedy and some of it feels like you're making fun of the situation.
It does.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, trying to explore it in, like, maybe a...
There's parts where it's basically shaming him for not being man enough.
Right.
And it's just... Like,
or, like, slapping him to wake him up into his, like, man...
Yeah, when he turns into a woman, it's like, stop being a woman!
Yeah, I think that the fact that Glenn is not violent and doesn't want to kill...
is
was
interesting
enough
enough
of a thing that they could have just explored that.
Right, that's the fish out of water. That it's like, oh, I'm the nice one, and I'm in this world of violence and everything.
Yeah.
But the interesting character development that happens is after Tiffany realizes that she has a child, that she feels like that she needs to stop killing and tries to kind of join an AA program.
12-step
program.
Book.
Yeah. And Rome was not built in a day. And
just a little slip.
Just a little slip. And wants to Chucky to go on this journey with her of recovery. And so one of the scenes that I liked about this is that she actually calls the wife of the
to make amends.
The police officer that she killed.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the last movie.
Oh, was that who it was?
Yeah.
I knew it must be someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically like, I'm sorry for what I did. Like, I killed your husband, and but I feel I'm moving on.
She's like, I'm doing a lot better now. Better days ahead.
I was in a bad spot, but
well, it's because she's using the book like all 12 steps in 3 days for busy people. So it's like she must have skipped the sentence where it's like, you don't make amends if it's gonna hurt the person more. Like, everybody knows that's part of the step.
Yeah.
Come on, Tiffany.
There's definitely some cynicism for 12-step programs coming through in this movie.
Yeah, and so the whole thing is that they both are trying to give up killing, but they both end up killing and lying to each other about it.
Yeah.
Well, Chucky doesn't want to give up. He's like got his fingers crossed.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I promise. And then the camera pans down and he's
And then there's a scene where Pete Peterson, John Waters, shows up at the house where they've already they've enacted their plan. They've tied up Jennifer Tilly. They've tied up Redman. And
did they?
No.
This is before that. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete Peterson's taking
right.
pictures when Jennifer Tilly's trying to seduce Redman.
That's right.
Yeah, but then he also sees Chucky jerking off.
Yeah,
and then he also sees Tiffany, and he just thinks that they're little people.
Yeah,
he's like, God bless the little people.
Yeah,
like he thinks they're having a weird party.
Yeah.
I love. So this whole thing is like, they're gonna use a turkey baster to put in some of Chucky's seed into Jennifer Tilly. And
thankfully, we were spared another CG sequence.
Yes, thank God. But we get this hilarious masturbation scene with the doll. Where he's like looking over the things like, okay, wait, before that even, Tiffany's about to leave and he's like, hey, can't you give me some help with this?
Oh my God.
You want to help? And she like pulls down her blouse and you see her naked boobs.
Yep.
As a doll.
Yep.
Doll.
She had nipples.
Would not have nipples. Barbie does not have nipples.
A little creepy.
Well, yeah.
Or do the nipples come in because she's a human now?
Glenn doesn't have any genitalia, so
Yeah, does she
again,
have
you're breaking
nipples
your own
before
rules,
the
movie.
incantation,
We
or
don't
only
know.
after?
We don't know.
The only man who would know is dead. They killed him in the movie.
I know.
Can't answer important nipple questions.
But Tiffany gives him that gift, and then he is off on his own, but he's got a couple magazines with
Because
him.
apparently Jennifer Tilly has a bunch of nudie mags in her bathroom.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah, and also Fangoria.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say. I love that he ends up settling on Fangoria. It's like, oh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great product placement there.
Yeah.
He would love it.
It's funny how many times the movie just you're like, oh, you're going there. Like the sperm in the opening credits, you're like, oh, he's gonna do it into the cup, and then because he's got a cup, he's got to put his seed in the cup.
I thought that crossed the line, and then when there's very awkward and awful sound effects of a turkey baster.
Okay. That was later, right? The turkey.
That was later.
Yeah. Okay, because Chucky sees John Waters and then decides to.
Then he takes Glenn and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go out for some father-son bonding."
He pulls the ribbon off.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's time for some daddy.
Yeah.
Boys' night out.
Yeah,
boys' night out.
Boys' night out.
Yeah. Oh my God. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what that means. It's time for another round of... That's right. We're here for another round of Guess That Tagline. We're here in the studio with some very special guests tonight. Our contestants for this evening, Tyler Hymanson on the right.
Excited to play, Justin.
Eliz Helly on the left.
Happy to be here.
And in the special hot seat, our guest, Dylan Campbell.
Yep.
Whoa, listen to that crowd, you guys. Holy shit. Well, hey, the rules are simple on this one. You just got to guess the tagline. I'm not giving you any hints. You're not getting any extra guesses. You just got a minute. Guess the tagline. Whoever gets it right wins. Okay. This is the tagline that's on the poster on the Wikipedia page. Hopefully you didn't already see it, but if you did, so be it. You guys ready?
Yes.
The song's going on a little bit longer than I thought it would. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. Ready, set. What is the tagline for this film?
Okay, do we think it's is it collaborative here, or do we have to guess?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, whoever says it first wins.
Is it about spreading?
No, it's got to be like
No.
Getting knocked up. No.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's got to be like Junior. Like it's a what's the Look Who's Talking To tagline that they can riff on? What was the? Oh God. Like
Is it like
Father's
Look
Day?
Who's Killing?
This Father's Day.
Ooh, those would. I like Look Who's Killing. That's not it.
Look Who's Killing now.
Good. Yeah.
That's not it.
I feel like it's a seed sown. I feel like it's a seed, like it's a farming
Ooh,
thing.
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not going to come up with anything better than Look Who's Killing now.
I think that's a pretty great one.
Yeah.
We get a hint.
There's
Reap what you sow.
There's a Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's it. Oh, you guys, you didn't make it. I'm sorry.
What is it?
The real answer is Fear the Second Coming.
Everyone would have got it, but yes.
You guys, I'm sorry.
Look Who's Killing is so much better.
This game was great.
I did take a class on creative ad copy. So.
Well, it's a nice try, you guys, but we'll have to wait till next time on... All right, that's enough of that. Back to the movie.
Fear the Second Coming.
Fear the Second Coming.
It has to be like Look Who's Killing 2, like T-O-O.
Oh, yeah.
And you
That
know,
would be good.
like, because it's the other one.
See, that would have been so much better. I don't like Fear the Second
They
Coming.
want to get all into the... They have to be so graphic about the sperm and the cum. Why?
I know when it like seeps out of
Yeah.
When she does the turkey baster thing and it like seeps out.
So
gross.
No, thank you.
I was like, that's getting everywhere.
It was, I mean, but it was great. Like when they're on the bed, they're tied up, and she pulls out. She's like, turkey. I was like, she's got a turkey baster, and then she sticks it up in there. I was like,
Dylan was like, oh hell yeah, this is happening.
and again, I was right in with that movie.
And again, Jennifer Tilly is down. like Jennifer Tilly is
she's tied down.
Yeah, Jennifer
cannot
Tilly is
be.
game for everything that's happening in this movie. Because in this movie, she's basically taking a turkey baster to herself.
She's, well, yeah.
Kind of.
Can you imagine her reading the
She's
script?
basically sexually assaulting herself?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It's not great.
So anyway, boys' night out. They go to kill John Waters.
Yeah. But
Yes.
Glenn doesn't know what they're doing.
Right. And Glenn doesn't necessarily, when he finds out, doesn't want to kill him.
No.
No.
He tries to
And he
stop
tries to
him,
warn him.
but
And inadvertently knocks a bunch of acid on John Waters' face, which is my favorite death in this movie.
and
Oh,
Chucky's
it's
very
pretty
proud.
great.
Is that what it would actually happen with that?
With acid?
Sulfuric
Yeah.
acid?
No.
Okay.
But when we see sulfuric acid, we think alien blood. We're like,
Right.
oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would probably
that
just
would melt my
maybe
face.
give you
Yeah.
a really bad chemical burn or something.
Yeah, I think it would be terrible, but you would not burn you down.
Hey,
to
if
the
you
skull.
guys know how sulfuric acid works on human skin, write in and let us know.
How long
Yeah.
would it take to melt so that we can see your
If you're a
teeth?
scientist,
Yeah.
out there,
Skull
knows.
through your
Yeah.
cheeks.
But John Waters is down, and it's very funny.
It's
death.
fun.
I love when he's just like, it's so quiet in that dark room, and he's like looking at these crazy photos, seeing that it's like a doll or whatever, and then all of a sudden, and like behind him, Chucky just goes like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes like, holy shit, and like turns around. His performance is great in
It's
this.
really fun. I guess he was a really big fan of the other movies
Yeah.
and like asked to be a part of it.
I was like
Nice.
surprised.
Awesome.
I was surprised to see him like, he shows up in that first.
and I thought it was gonna be a one-off.
Exactly. I thought it was just like a quick cameo, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like, did you guys see John Waters?
Yeah.
But then he's in the rest of the movie.
I feel like if you're gonna bring John Waters for a cameo, he would definitely be like, "No, I need to be killed by Chucky."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he'd be pissed if he didn't. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Glenn has to deal with the fact that he accidentally killed him.
Chucky's very proud, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take a photo.
They do, and Glenn keeps it.
Yeah.
Polaroid.
A little Polaroid. No.
Well, they got to use it later.
They
Yeah.
are in the photo lab, so there's lots of cameras.
Also, there's a really stupid scene where Britney Spears cuts them off while they're driving.
Oh yeah!
Oh
they did
my
kill Britney
God.
Spears. That's
That
right.
was so lame.
That tells you what year
What
this was
year it
released.
was.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
That
I
was
guess
like-
and I guess there was disclaimers when this movie was released that it had to say Britney Spears was not in this movie.
The girl doesn't even look like her.
Right.
It's just some impersonator.
She's driving like a pink car, and it says Brittany 1 on the license plate.
yeah.
It's playing some like
And then
pop song.
and then when Chucky kills her, he says, "Oops, I did it again."
so
Wah,
bad.
wah, wah.
Because Chucky was dead the whole time that came out.
Right. Yeah, he remembers.
yeah.
I thought that was like the dumbest scene maybe in the whole movie. It was
Maybe in the entire franchise.
yeah, because it goes over into the like no longer being self-referential and just being like dumb, like I don't know,
Like a
yeah.
scary movie.
Like, yeah,
type,
It
where they're
felt more
gonna
like
just,
parody than
Yeah.
satire.
Like the type of movie the Redman's usually in.
Yeah. They're just gonna have random pop culture references. For
Yeah.
no reason.
yeah,
Yeah, it didn't fit with the rest of the movie.
It's not like he hated Britney Spears this entire time or anything.
yeah.
Yeah, he really hated Britney Spears.
As we remember.
Yeah, he was sat in front of Disney Kids Club, Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse Club.
and he was just forced to sit there as a box for years and hated her.
That's funny. That would have been funny, like if they had that flashback before,
yeah.
and then he's like road rages to kill her. He's like, "Oh, Dad, what are you doing? I gotta take care of something."
That would be so much better.
Yeah.
God, we got the tagline.
I'm
we
gunning.
got the quick flashback.
I'm gunning for you, Justin.
And Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
He's next.
Yeah.
So then we get back to the
sexual assault.
Yeah, the sexual assault, the insemination. She gets pregnant.
Voodoo pregnant, super
you
fast.
skipped over the gutting of.
Red Man gets.
Red Man gets killed because Tiffany does not like how he's treating Jennifer Tilly.
Well, because he's like, you can't be the Virgin Mary if you're pregnant. And she's like, she's pregnant in the film. She's like, that's not my vision.
Which was very funny.
But yeah, it's so funny how this is like, so it comes out in 2004 and it's very satirical and very like commentary about Jennifer Tilly's career and everything. But then you have this like storyline of this basically like pre-Harvey Weinstein like casting couch situation and like commenting about how like bad it is before anybody started like more openly like saying how bad it was. And like, I don't know, it makes you wonder because like we were talking kind of about like Jennifer Tilly's career.
Yeah,
and how
I'm thinking it was Bound Miramax. I think that it might have been.
Well, it was, I don't know, but it's so who knows? Like you can't like
or Bullets Over Broadway, maybe.
Well, I'm sure something creepy happened there. But it, it's just like interesting that I wonder how involved she was in like maybe suggesting or agreeing with or like greenlighting that storyline for whatever reason, because then she doesn't really act much for a while. She goes into like, World Series of Poker and like a whole bunch of voice acting things like, for a long time.
Right.
So,
well, this is kind of the end of, this is later Jennifer Tilly, right?
Yeah.
This isn't like, I mean, how old was she? And she's like,
younger, but no, it's later on. But
like,
she's still been doing stuff. But yes.
But that's the horrible thing about the minute a lot of the women stars once they're like 25, they start to
that too
getting mom roles.
Yes,
she was like 35 or 40.
I think that there had to be much of that because Bullets Over Broadway was a Woody Allen Miramax movie. So.
Oh my god! For her sake, I hope that it wasn't too bad. But that sounds like the worst possible combination of things.
Yes.
Interesting.
So anyway,
back to the murder doll. Yeah,
all the fun topics.
That's true.
Of
This
Seed
movie
of
does
Chucky.
bring up so many things. It's got the Glenn Glenda thing, and then it's like, and then the casting couch thing is weird because she definitely initiates it.
Yeah, it's
She's like, how about you come over here and I'll do that? Like, it's not like
he wasn't trying to.
He's
trick her
not
into
like predatoring her. He's just.
He's
He's
definitely
down.
down. Yeah,
he's going along with her.
And people keep telling her not to do it, and she's like, "Whatever, I don't care. Like, I'm tired of this." Like so.
Her poor assistant.
She doesn't even get any fan letters except for the one her.
Her poor assistant.
Writes.
Her assistant was an S Club 7. That actress.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Her thankless assistant who just gets killed, like
murdered.
Just trying to help. Just trying to help the whole time.
After she'd been fired.
I know.
She goes
she
over
still
to
tries to
check
help.
on her. Yeah.
That poor girl.
Although that was a pretty funny death, too.
Yeah.
You gotta love
gets
that
torched.
hairspray lighter situation.
Yeah.
That's a
Which
classic.
I guess it's like that hairspray was gasoline grade because like it coated her and then her whole body got on fire. And then she fell down a very tall atrium.
Yes.
Maybe the hairspray death was like a John Waters
Reference.
Maybe.
Like John?
If it was hairspray, get it?
Yeah, that would be funny.
If it had been him that died that way, I guess it would have been more direct. Okay, so then we've both, Chucky and Tiffany, find out that neither one has kept to the no killing.
Yeah,
pact.
wait, because there was a funny bit like.
They are like
we have some skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, Chucky's like, it's okay, babe. I've got some skeletons. And he hits the closet door, and then 3 bodies we haven't seen before fall out.
Which was the funniest part of the movie to me.
Like, when did he do those?
Yeah, when did he kill these people? I want to see those deaths.
And as all this is going on, this is when we meet Glenda for the first time.
Yeah,
officially, yeah.
Because Glenda kills the assistant, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I thought it was Tilly.
Yeah, you're
Tiffany.
supposed to think it's...
And then I was like, oh.
Tiffany, yeah.
And then she turns around and it's actually
A very
Glenda.
fabulous. Very fabulous.
Very fabulous.
Yeah.
Lots of makeup,
Yeah.
Glenda.
She's got like a hair flip.
Yeah,
And
blonde hair out of nowhere.
Then Tiffany slaps her to bring back Glenn. And he's like, "What have I done?"
to wake him up.
Yeah, to wake him
he's
up
sleeping.
because they're both trapped in the same body. But I think
like
the most
Fight Club.
the most important thing that happens in this movie is Chucky's like, "Why the fuck do I want to be a human?" Like,
Yes.
I am an infamous killer doll. I will never get old. I will never die. I am like, this is awesome. Like, I don't want to be human. Like, fuck that. Like, I'm now embracing full murder voodoo doll.
Yeah, this is a major character development for
Yes.
Chucky.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Why did he always want to be human?
Yeah.
Yes, that was
every
his-
movie.
every
they're
movie
trying
that
to
was
get
his
back
whole
into human bodies.
thing.
Yep.
So he suddenly is like, you know what? Oh, because you know
He's like,
why?
"Fuck this."
He's like,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be able to not get it up. And
That is
he
something
can,
he
like-
says, yes.
Yeah.
That's a good reason, I guess.
And then Tiffany's like, I want to be Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jennifer Tilly gives birth to twins.
Yes.
And that's why, like, oh my God, we can all go into all the bodies. It'll be
Right.
perfect. And that's why this whole thing comes up.
Yeah. And so Tiffany. Oh no! Then Chucky's like, nobody fucking leaves me.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm leaving you.
And he
Yeah.
gets,
Yeah.
he like throws an axe, like, yeah, or
Yeah.
a knife or something. And Stan, is his name Stan?
Driver.
Oh, the driver.
Driver. No, I think his name is Stan.
His name is
Yeah.
Driver.
The poor limousine driver who
Who's
the
in love
entire
with Jennifer
movie,
Tilly.
his main line has been, I love you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
I
He's
love
been
you,
practicing the line. Yeah.
I love you, Jennifer.
Yeah. And he never gets to say it.
Yeah, as
never
he
says it.
jumps in front of a knife for her, and as he's dying, he's like,
She's like, "What? Say it! Say it!" He's like,
that was just so sad. What a sad, pathetic character. Yeah, poor Stan. He was so close. Not really.
Well, he could have been if he lived longer, because Jennifer Tilly's like, I think my driver really likes me. Like, she could have come around.
Yeah,
There's
she was,
There's
like,
an alternative
actually into
universe
him.
where they live happily ever after.
Yeah,
But instead,
So we get another "Give me the power, I beg of you"
yeah.
situation.
Give me the power, I beg of you. Do they actually get to say that? I don't think they do.
Chucky.
Well, she starts, and then he cuts her off. Or who starts it? He starts it, then he stops. He's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, he does start it because I remember him saying it at least once.
Yeah.
and then the cops come, right?
Yeah. Oh, the cops come and they're like, "Hurry up and do it!" And then he's like, "No, no, that's what."
Yeah,
is
and
happening
then he throws the axe at her, and then Jennifer Tilly gets rushed to the hospital.
Yeah, we think it's over.
Yeah,
But
but then Tiffany sneaks in, drugs her.
Tiffany's at the hospital somehow, of course.
Yeah, and then Chucky breaks in with an axe, full Shining style,
yeah,
and
very
says,
much. I
"It's
can't
really,
think of
it's really
anything to
funny. I
say.
can't think of anything to say right now."
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like it just like cuts in the close up, and it's like he's like, "Here's Chucky." And
You're
he's like,
so expecting him to
Yeah,
say, "Here's
totally
Chucky."
are,
Yeah.
And he's just like, huh.
Subverting expectations.
Yeah, and he straight up kills Tiffany with an axe. Yeah.
yes, and then
We get the Matrix.
yeah, we get the Team America World
He
Police.
does. He goes. He
Yeah,
does the whole.
yeah, he does the whole
Yeah.
"come at me, bro." Palm
You guys
flip.
are making
Morpheus style. I
things
just
that
realized
can't
I'm
be
on a
heard.
It's
podcast.
really
saying-
good.
Yeah, all of us
I'm
are
gonna
doing
get my
these
hand
gestures.
closer to the microphone so you can hear like the
Yeah, right
hand,
next
the
to it.
Keanu
Everyone's
Reeves
doing
hand
the like,
flip, yeah.
come here.
That bit where
Yeah,
Morpheus
come
and
hither.
Neo like
Yeah.
gesture towards each other to fight,
Yeah.
And a stupid fucking puppet fight scene.
and he knows martial arts because he's
Where Glenn
Because
like,
he's
yeah,
made in Japan.
Glenn like slow-mo jumps over him and stuff.
It's
like-
real dumb. And then, but then,
it's pretty zany.
Yeah.
I'd say it's more zany.
Fair.
Zany.
Straight up cartoon.
then Glenn kind of dismembers Chucky.
Oh yeah, he cuts him.
He cuts his arm
Anakin.
off. Chucky always has to lose his arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that like as he's doing it, he's like, "Attaboy,
Yeah.
Glenn."
Yeah.
I know.
Attaboy.
That was like
Well,
he
no,
gets his
for a
head
minute
cut
he
off.
thinks it's Glenda,
Right.
and then Glenn's like, "No, it's me. Like, don't kill my fucking mom."
Yeah. And then Chucky is proud in that moment. At the
he
end.
finally becomes a dad.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later,
We get a Avengers jump.
Well, because because Tiffany takes the medallion, and then you don't before we cut out, so you don't.
Oh yeah,
know.
there's a weird moment before the time jump where Glenn is obviously broken up about everyone having died, and he just killed his dad, and he's crying, and Jennifer Tilly wakes back up from being drugged or whatever, and then she's hugging Glenn.
Oh yeah, she's there.
It'll be okay, and I'm
was it Tiffany or was it?
Well, it was Jennifer Tilly, the actress Jennifer.
Yeah,
Tilly.
but we don't know at what point did Tiffany.
At what point was the?
I think at that point it had already happened.
It had happened. Okay.
That's why I was why is she being so nice to this doll? She wouldn't be what the fuck?
Yeah.
She's being nice. I was I think
because
they've
she
already
gives him
transferred
the
over.
axe.
Right.
Because she throws him because
she
he's
does.
needs a weapon, and she slides the axe on him so that he can dismember Chucky.
Yo, that would still I could see that still happening
see
in
it.
Jennifer Tilly's character, but the hugging of the doll, that's got to be Tiffany at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
Jennifer
I don't
Tilly. It's kind of a sad scene where the police are no, you can't see your kids until we can prove that you're not crazy. And she's I just want to have my babies. This thing with the dolls really happened, and it harkens back to the original mom
first one,
from Child's Play that ended up basically being in a mental hospital for the rest of her life because she wouldn't admit that Chucky didn't really happen.
Right.
So it's kind of that, and then
The first movie has a different tone.
yeah. And so
It's a lot more
anyway,
sinister. It's a
5
lot
years
more-
later,
It's a lot more real.
Okay.
As much as a
Yeah,
Living
yeah,
Doll
yeah.
movie
A
can
little
be.
bit more
It's all
horror.
meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, all this comedy stuff comes in later.
Like Bride.
Yeah.
They're really leaning into it in this one.
Yeah, and so anyway, we find out that Jennifer Tilly is, I guess, just gone. Who knows what happened to her?
Yeah, because
soul.
we see her eyes glow green, just like Tiffany's eyes are green, and you're the transfer has happened for the first time ever. They made it work.
three
Finally.
times.
But that's after she kills the maid, right?
Well, yeah, that's at the very end,
at the
but
very end,
yeah, in the end, you see that they're having a birthday party at Jennifer Tilly's mansion, and everyone's having fun, and the maid comes in talking about how.
Glenda.
Yeah,
It's
Glenda really
freaks
scares me.
Yeah, I'm scared of her.
Glenn
Yeah.
is a total angel.
Yeah.
You're twin babies. But Glenda is oh, God.
So yeah, they kill the maid that is scared of Glenda, and we find out that Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly's body does keep Tiffany the doll around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for fun, I guess.
And the children are redheaded.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They got
Glenn
real-
and Glenda have been put into the two real babies.
Yeah.
They got real wild hair.
Yeah.
Well, Glenda has
And
huge hair.
yeah, and Glenda is the same personality, and Glenn doesn't he's not necessarily a violent boy, but he keeps the photo of his dad.
Oh.
And then the big thing is that he gets sent a mysterious box.
We don't know who it's from. It's I don't know who it's from. Just like
Chucky-
the opening.
Chucky has somebody who is doing his mail for him.
Yeah.
We learned this in number 3, right?
Yeah.
Where he's just who is mailing himself to
Pack
people?
me up, mail guy.
So he just mails his one arm to Glenn, and that's kind of the end of the
Yeah.
It
movie.
attacks him, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Let me child star check in.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Claudia, the little British girl from the beginning,
Okay.
is Betty Denville. She did some shows on BBC. She went to acting school. She's been she's an artist who sells a lot of drawings of animals and stuff. And right now, she graduated, I think, not too long ago from school. So she's just kind of pounding the pavement, doing the short films and being an actress. So that's good. Christina Hewitt played human Glenda, and she went to dance school and is now working as both a professional dancer and a coach for little kids. And then human Glenn is played by Beans El Balawi, whose real name is Jordan. And he was later in 28 Weeks Later, and so apparently he went to school at the Westminster Abbey choir boy school, which only has 30 students, and he was the head choir boy at Westminster Abbey.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's
a big deal.
It's crazy, yeah. And
So he has the same lovely voice as Pippin.
He does.
yeah. And he starred in Half Light as Demi Moore's son. I don't know what that movie is, but anyway. And then his step grandmother is a famous British singer that wrote about him in her biography. So I don't know what he's doing right now as far as working, but the only pictures I could find of him from recently were at the opening party for his step-grandmother's book.
Oh.
Which mentions him because it was on Google Books.
Well, Beans, if you're trapped in Westminster Abbey, let us know. We'll come get you.
Yeah.
Beans!
Beans!
That's a great name, Beans.
Yeah.
LOL.
He's half white and half Arab, even though he looks so
White.
and Chucky.
Yeah, he looks super white.
Yeah, but his name is El Balawi. So,
Cool.
anyways, that's your child star check-in.
Very cool. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the movie.
It is the end of the movie. I have a rating, but I don't want to say it. So I think I'm going to go sulfuric acid.
No, just say
Wait,
it.
no, you gotta
You
say
can't
it.
just hint that and then not say
come
it.
on.
Right. How
everyone-
many turkey basters do you give this movie?
Are these like fully stuffed turkey basters?
They're fully
You know
stuffed.
what's
Fully
so
loaded?
funny?
Fully loaded?
When I was telling Dylan about the format of the show when we were having dinner before this, I was like, we're going to do a rating system, and Tyler's probably going to say, like, how many containers of Chucky's sperm are ready? You said turkey, so I got you.
You got it.
T.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You nailed it.
Yeah, so how many turkey basters are you going to give this movie here, Justin?
Me, I think I ended up ultimately going with 4 turkey basters.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this so far has been the lowest one for me. I was still having fun with it, but like something about the comedy got a little grating for me. There weren't as many amazing Chucky one-liners. Like we talked about the Britney Spears thing. That was like,
Yeah, it was a groaner.
made me roll my eyes out of my head. But I really, I mean, I thought that the meta thing was pretty novel for the series. I know every series kind of a lot of horror series get there eventually. But I thought it worked well with this because, Chucky would have been all over the news and stuff. And I think they probably totally would be making a movie because it's a crazy story.
Yeah, they did mention again that he's like more famous than Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers, and they mentioned all those guys again. So
Exactly. But I think in the end, just like the leaning further into the comedy and like the madcap and like ridiculousness going on just wasn't quite playing with me like I was hoping it would a little bit. So I'm going to say 4.
I don't remember what I've given any of these ones, but it's so hard to even like evaluate this one on the same basis as the first 3 because it's almost like a completely different series. The one's called Chucky and the one's called Child's Play, and we'll see if that trend continues. But I guess I'll give it, I don't know, 5 turkey basters because I did really still like the meta Hollywood stuff, and I think that the thing about Chucky and Tiffany trying to stop killing and be parents was really interesting. And like I said, I think they should have just taken out the gender thing because them having a child that is so different than them is interesting enough and would have been a good enough plot, I feel. But yeah, it's so weird how ahead of its time so many of these issues were. I mean, I know it was only like 10-ish years ago, but still, it's like weird. I mean, weirdly prescient.
Yeah, a major release film to be grappling with LGBT.
Yeah, how did this
stuff.
film do? We didn't even mention that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
I can look it up here quick. I think it looks like it did 24 million worldwide.
It's the last one to be released theatrically.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's not a great worldwide gross in 2004.
So Dylan, how about your rating?
So wait, out of 10?
Out of 10 basters.
You only gave it 3?
I have not given my rating yet.
Oh, you haven't given
I give it a 4.
4
I
and
said
you give it a
5.
5. I'd give it like 6.5.
Nice.
6.5 fold. I feel bad. This is my first one, so I was watching. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's kind of silly. It's that kind of referential. It's like what Scream 4 level of horror.
Yeah,
where they're making a movie about the thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like.
Wait, was that Scream 3?
Was it 3? Yeah.
I haven't seen any of those.
I mean, Scream itself was the thing that brought the meta-ness to it anyway.
Yeah, totally.
But in one of them, like 3 or 4, they were making a movie about
about Scream,
about the town. And
interesting.
6.5.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's we would like to have people on that we don't expect everyone to have watched the whole thing.
No.
That's part of the fun. Like we're going crazy seeing all the progress.
We
and
do it so
everything.
you don't have to.
Exactly.
Now I got to go back though and see, and
can.
I'll write in.
can.
I'll be like, okay, I'm giving
That's
one
fine.
this many turkey basters.
I gotta
this many-
reevaluate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can write us about turkey basters whenever you want.
Yeah.
We can update our listeners on your thoughts.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 3 turkey basters.
Oh, you
Yeah, you called it. I think that Don Mancini, for the first time, can take this wherever he wants to take it. He has creative control. He wrote it. He can direct it. And it feels like where it started, I think that my favorite thing that happened in this series so far is after the first movie, which was fairly grounded, like we said, the second movie starts with, well, you're an orphan because your mom's in an insane asylum. Yeah. And it's like, fuck, like that's, ooh. Like, and I kind of like the, uncertainty of a child and the trust and everything about that, and I liked it in 3 when they made it a teenager and kind of played with that, and I think Bride had the right level of meta-ness for me. Mm-hmm. And I think that this one is kind of mean-spirited and kind of, it feels very of the time. And at the time, the reason I haven't seen this movie is I was not interested in seeing this movie. And I did that. Having seen the other movies and leading up to this one, that hasn't necessarily changed my opinion. Yeah. I think there's some really funny bits in it, but I think that they are sparse, and I don't think that any of the deaths, aside from the John Waters one, is anything that is like, oh my god, like that was super exciting about. It's like piano wire, flamethrower.
Yeah. And I want to say, too, like, Don Mancini taking the reins on the director's side, I don't think was a bad thing. Like, the movie looks great. Like, the opening sequence with Glenn.
The POV is awesome. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's awesome.
Puppets are still amazing. Yeah. Like, the face...
Yeah. So,
no, I don't think it's a bad directorial effort. I think that everything that he wanted to do is executed well. Mm-hmm. It's just I didn't like what he wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like...
overall, I still just wish that Glenn looked more like Chucky and Tiffany.
Yeah, totally.
So, what's the next movie called?
Well,
and what year?
Let's see. 2013.
Cult.
We're coming up. No, first is Curse of Chucky. All the way in 2013. So, yeah, this movie, I don't know if we even mentioned it, but it was released 20 years after the original, the first, this Seed of Chucky. And now, after, I guess, this box office disappointment, there's a little bit of time, almost 10 years before we see another Chucky.
And I believe Don Mancini directs again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he might be back.
I think it'll be interesting to see where Chucky goes now, like we said, now that he is no longer obsessed with getting into a human body. Yes. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm curious. You say that, but also, like, the movie's called Curse of Chucky, so now that makes me feel like it's more about the curse again and how he's, like, stuck in this doll body and maybe he doesn't want to be. So I was, like, wondering if it's, like, a reset.
Or maybe, or maybe the curse expires at some point, or there's some voodoo
or there's
maybe he's cursing other people.
I was going to say, it's like a new killer.
There could be a new curse.
Voodoo rules.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah.
This DTV release next week.
A sequel rights special.
Yeah.
The direct-to-video. We are now in direct-to-video territory, forging ahead.
Hey, that took us a long time.
It did.
Sometimes
we're leaving the last waypost, and now we're heading off into uncharted territory.
Yep. Before that, Eliz, where can people get in touch with us?
Yes, please email us all of your doll stories and your ideas about the future. Chucky is sequelrights@gmail.com. It's only 3 more movies, so we're going to need ideas for future franchises as well. Mm-hmm. And then check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook @sequelrights.
And please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Listen to us on Overwatch. We're on Spotify. All the Spotify listens are a big help as well. We really appreciate
Overcast?
What did I say?
Overwatch?
Overcast.
Find us on Overwatch.
I've never played it
before in my life. I'll be terrible.
Yeah, tweet at me. I'll give you my username. You can play some Overwatch.
So, Dylan, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, no problem. It's
if
fun.
People want to check out your comics, where can they find you online?
So the webcomic is it's on the web at scaredbythebell.com. And then on Twitter, I'm just Dylan Draws. And then Instagram, Dylan Draws.
How many issues are out right now?
So I have 3 printed. You can see there's 3 here. And then I'm about to kickstart number 4.
Nice.
So yeah,
awesome.
So I'm chugging away.
Yeah, well, you guys should totally check it out. It's super rad. Dylan, thanks for being here, man. It's been great having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me come. I just waved and realized I should say
something. Wave closer to the microphone.
The audience can hear the sentiment of the wave.
That's right.
All right, well, everyone, I hope you guys had fun. This was a fun one. We'll see you next week for The Curse of Chucky.
let's hit the street tonight. We got the brand new ride, we got the beat that's tight. Me and my boy inside, let's ride till the wheels fall off. All the ladies scream and shout, all the fellas ball. Cause we going to the club tonight. Man, I'm buying up the bar once I get inside. Yeah, East Coast, West Coast, show love. From the north to the south, everybody cut it up, yeah. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, yeah. Cut it up, 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 cut 'em up. Oh, look at the big time stunner, cruising down Mulholland in the new Hummer. You know it's stolen, you know I stay rolling. Me and my boy, we ride like soldiers. Big Chucky, ooh, I'm so lucky. I'm a murderous psychopath toy, they can't touch me. I'm iller than MJ's Thriller. See the scar on my face like Pacino, I'm a killer. Cut it up, yeah. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, yeah. Cut it up, cut it up, cut